everybody. How are you doing? I'm Dr. Gail, and this is Teri, and thanks for joining us today. And Teri's back here from a trip to Sedona and has all sorts of things to tell us about the energy there and what's going on in Sedona. But Teri, because you have a cold, I'll go ahead and start talking to everybody and saying hello to them. I'm going to try to save your voice. I was there like a month ago where I had to have constant eating cough drops while I was on a show. So today I'll help her out because I know how it is and how you lose your voice pretty quickly. And
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's not too bad right now, but I just finished a meditation and I've still got dust I feel like I still have dust in my lungs from Sedona a little bit. So yeah, all that beautiful crystalline energy out there.
You brought that red clay with you.
Oh my God, it was so potent. Yeah, everything is potent out there. Potent. I like that word. So anyway, it was a lot of fun though. It was really.
It was I'm good. Well, I'm going to say hello to a few people here. Hey, Paul Freed. Hey, White Dragon. And thank you, White Dragon. Hello, all ask in all caps and like and subscribe. Thank you, White Dragon, always for looking after us. Hey, CJ. Let's see who else is here. Scroll down. It seems like every time I'm saying hello to people, my scrolling goes wonko. Hey, Alina. Hey, Barbara, does yours
go 100%. Yeah, it's always jumping around. Well, electronics in particular and technology are just going nuts right now.
Yeah, so are we.
Yeah, well, that's true. There's always that.
Hey, Teresa. Hey, NCAR. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Diane G. Hey, Hypnicity. Thanks for being here. Hey, Debbie, 3 Shifting Veils. Thanks, Deanne, DFL Rocks. And hey, Rooted in Nature with Willow. Thanks for being here today. Hey, Mary Sunshine. Hey, Diane G. Hey, Rossi. Hey, Jen B. Visionary Gal. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Wow. Visionary Gal. Yeah. Let's see who else. Hey, Annie Bear. Oh, I'm getting ready to cough myself. Hey, Son. Wow. Hey, Rush. Hey, Lisa Dailies. Thanks for being here. Hey, Julie Hamill. Hey, Gina M. Let's see who else is here. Hey, Isabel. Thanks, everybody, for sharing your Saturday with us. Hey, Sonia. Hey, Jill Cartwright. And looks like I've caught up finally.
Yay.
And I've been starting a few as we go. I'm getting some of y'all's questions. Of course, we will get to them. Teri and I are starting at the same time. I unstarred one of hers.
Yeah, Sonia said that. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So we already had some.
Okay, Sonia, her screen is black.
What was that?
Oh, Sonia says that her screen is black, but I don't think that's us, Sonia.
No.
Unless somebody else sees it. So,
yeah, Sonia, I would go back out and come back in and see if it gets better.
Yeah.
Anybody else is anybody else having trouble seeing us? Yeah, Sonia, I'd go out and come back in.
Yeah, log out and come back in. Melba, Whole Being Energy Healing. I love that name. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Mm-hmm. She just came in. That's really pretty, though.
Okay, mine might be behind yours.
Oh, okay.
Maybe so. I think so because Jenny, thank you for letting us know. Sonia, it did work good. I'm glad you came back in. I was okay. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for letting us know y'all are good. Y'all can see us, hear us, which we had problems with the hearing earlier, but it was on my end. And I've done this before. I made the other person come in, come out, come in, come out, and then I find out it's my volume I didn't turn up. I had it on mute. So we all go through these things that we do. So
yeah, right.
But anyway, let's go into your trip to Sedona?
Yeah, so just came back from Sedona this week, a couple of days ago, and was gone for 10 days, which is about right, maybe 12. And it was beautiful. I first went to see Sally, Rods, who a lot of you probably know. She has a lot of energy on her land out there in the desert. And we spent some time together and we tried to film a few things, but the entities would not let us do too much filming. They were turning off our phones, our cameras, our microphones. Different computers were getting turned off around the house. And it was just crazy town. But I did get a lot of energy on the land around there and what was going on. And she has so many vortexes there, and they're each going a different direction. It's like, I don't know if anybody here remembers Thomas the Tank Engine, but he had, so my son was so into him. There was this big wheelhouse, and it's where the trains turn around. So it was like a central station that you would go to with the trains, and then things would turn around so that they could go into the correct corridors or the correct lines. And that's kind of what they were showing me, is that it's a central wheelhouse that the ships can come into and then turn and go into the correct conduits or the correct vortexes within the earth. But there was a lot of inner earth activity there, which there is everywhere, you guys, but particularly there. And if anybody has any questions about anything that we say, please put them in all caps, because we're aware that sometimes what we talk about, people here have been listening to for years and years. And then, if you're newer to this, we want to make it very accessible to you. So just let us know. But inner earth is, I always used to think of as the ancient ones, but now I'm recognizing more and more so that they are also the galactics, and that we are the galactics, because we think of ourselves as being, we're earthlings, but what is earth but a planet? So of course we are galactic. And inner earth is a combination of our past and future selves. I believe that we have gifted ourselves things in inner earth that are yet to be discovered for us to help us on our way. And we've done this in the past, and we've done it, our future selves coming back and saying, hey, Teri, you need a little help with this, here you go, and giving you gifts. So I feel like it's a really beautiful space. Also, there were some interesting things that I saw, a lot like Dune and the inner earth in Dune, or inner planet, whatever planet they're on.
You're talking about the movie Dune.
The movie Dune, yeah. And you helped me with this, Gail, because I was looking at it and they were showing me the corridors of water that went through. And I guess you've been talking about this for forever, and it just kind of clicked in my brain when you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the water under the earth goes from one end of the U.S. to the other, all across the world, and our military knows about it, and they have access to it and use it.
Which makes so much sense, because they were really showing me that it is like Dune. And they even said, when I went in there, they said, yeah, Dune is not just a movie. It's there's a lot of truth here. And
as most sci-fi movies.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Star Trek and all that, Star Wars. So going inner earth, and I've always gone inner earth in meditations for healing, and to be able to get inside and to relax, and like that blue plasma water there, and to go inside and do healings there. I feel like it's a place that we can regenerate and revive and surrender. There's nothing out there. It's all here, Garnet. 100%.
Well, there is stuff out there. We have different planets, different stars. But the thing is all these galactic beings have been here before us, and we are looking at them as the strangers on Earth, whereas we are the strangers on Earth.
Whoa, that's a zinger, but that rings so true, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, because they're ancient. They're ancient there. And so going inside and seeing inner Earth, I've always seen other universes inside the planet, right? And that it's multidimensional.
Mhm.
Um, but now they've been showing me a lot of the magnetic core of Earth as well, and the magnetic core being zero dimension. And zero dimension is one of the highest frequencies because it's the point of creation where all things are possible. And that magnetic core of the earth is like that. It's a place that we can go to and we can heal. We can go in and we can, well, they're saying get back to your roots and then they're laughing, but 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 we can go in there and we can let go of everything, our past, and we can connect to our future there. So yeah, zero dimension. It's really a big deal, Gina, and it felt so good. And like they've shown me before, being one dimensional or two dimensional, where you're a fern on a planet, and being a fern was the highest dimension that you could be, right? And it's a beautiful place to be. Each dimension has its own gifts, and we think about, oh, I want to be six dimensional, but really being zero dimension is all about it. I mean, it's just amazing. But I mean,
Well,
fifth would be great too.
Teri, can you explain dimensions to our new viewers?
Yeah, I'd love to. So zero dimension for me, I'll explain how I feel about it, and you guys take what you like, and then leave the rest, or add to it. But for me, zero dimension is the point of the beginning, and that would be creator. That would be the point of creation. And I am seeing a lot of the in between right now, in visions and meditations, that the in between is that point in the beginning. And it's really, really incredible because that's where we start creating, and that's where the universe starts creating. Um, so that would be zero dimension. Like first and second would be plant items and maybe some animals. And then third dimension, which we're in right now, we come into ego. And that's the human species and what we're going through here. And we believe, with ego, because of the density here, we start going into the conditioned mind, where we're conditioned since childhood to become a nice little girl and smile and be quiet, or a nice young man and be courteous and be the boss, or whatever conditions that we put of society on people. So but really we're all spirit, and we're all energy, and we're consciousness, and we're intuitive, and we're powerful, we're creators, we're part of the creator. So that's my feeling. Fifth and sixth dimension, as we move on up, is going to be what I call the light grid. And the light grid goes outside planet Earth, and it's like a light body, almost like a hologram. And as it becomes more and more solid, a lot of us spend time there, surging our power and connecting to the universe. But also, this is a space of where we can manifest. This is a space of interconnectedness, where we don't feel the separatedness that we do when we're in the ego here in third and fourth dimension. And then you'll go up to sixth dimension, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think 11 or 12 is the place of the Christ Buddha consciousness. And supposedly it goes up to 34 dimensions, but I would have to say it's an infinite number of dimensions because it's an infinite universe.
I think it's infinite too. And at one time I was told Jesus was at 33.
Oh, that's powerful. That's one of my favorite numbers. I can feel that. Yeah, and probably it'd be a different manifestation of Christ Buddha consciousness at 12 than it would be at 33.
Right.
So, so that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So I don't know if anything I just said made any sense, you guys, but let me know.
It does make perfect sense. But so will you explain to people that you explained to them while we were in 3D. Can you explain to them why we're moving into another dimension and what's happening with that for the newer viewers?
Yeah, for sure. So 3D, what we're going through right now is this learning process. And we're always, well, if you believe in quantum physics, then all this is going on at the same time, right? So we're in a different timeline doing something else anyway. But but there's something called the yugas in the Vedas. And right now we're in Kali Yuga, which is a time of patriarchy. And we're going through a time right now, and it's kind of a time of darkness too, kind of like the Dark Ages, but not so dark perhaps. But right now what we're going through is this patriarchy, which is the divine masculine gone rogue. I like to look at it that way.
Also going through polarity.
Yeah, duality. And we're going into non-duality, where we're all interconnected. And so what I see Earth going through, the earthquakes, going through the volcanic activity, going through wars, people want to control what's going on. And I believe that these people could be the billionaires, they could be the trillionaires, they could be the people behind the government, they could be people in the government that want to control the narrative of the planet. But you can't, because it's all love. Like the whole universe is love. And we're all waking up to that. Like we know our power. We know that we are divine beings. We know that we are zero dimension at our core, and we are all creators, and we can stand in our power. And this is us going through that, going into the age of Aquarius, the age of the divine feminine. But this will be, for me, this will be the divine feminine that's giving birth to a new era, and the divine masculine is holding space for the divine feminine. So it's going to be a beautiful time of being able to combine your masculine and your feminine in a divine way, in our own special personality. And I think a lot of this has something to do with the fluidity of the sexuality of the new era as well.
Right. Well, I love what let's see, I missed that message. Oh, Debbie, through Shifting Veils, Mother Earth is going through menopause too. She's probably right.
Right.
So, here's Diane. She's saying, interesting. I've always thought source is the highest dimension. I've never thought there's a zero dimension. What is the concept? What a concept to ponder on. So how did you come into the concept of the zero dimension? Because we all have been taught, and it's our mindset, because we're humans and we think linear. So we're in third dimension. Of course, we get, we're going to move forward on, up into the different dimensions. So how did you come about knowing that source was in zero dimension? Oh gosh, you froze up on me, Jim.
Well, see, you guys, this is what happens. Technology is going to fry us here. So if you go to, and I'm not well versed in the Old Testament or the New Testament, but I've read it a few times, but I'm just going to say, go back to Genesis and the point of the beginning. And the point of the beginning, there is just consciousness. There is just creator. And if there is just consciousness and creator and awareness, talk about a beautiful space. And so for me, I feel like that is the point of the beginning. And the point of the beginning, they even show me in meditations, the point where we can look outside the universes, the multiverse, and see new universes being made, new creations. And it's constantly evolving. So there's always that zero dimension and infinite dimensions. It's always going on.
So the zero dimension is a dimension for creation. It's basically what it is.
Yeah, I believe so.
So yeah, that makes sense. So Patricia Eckward totally talks about nothingness being source, which would make sense. And to me, that equals zero. Thanks, Patricia.
I love that because Eckhart is huge right now, Patricia. You know that. It's like I'm reading rereading all my Eckhart books, and and he's really good at that. Also, it's interesting that Deepak right now is bringing into mind everything about, is this a matrix? Is this a computer program?
Oh
Is
yeah, it comes around almost every other day.
right?
Yeah,
It's it's on a roll. So, and Annie Bear says, we live in a feminine universe on a feminine planet. Love that, Annie. Yeah. So it's time to shine that light, right? Makes sense. Why else is there a start point? Deanne says, yeah. So anyway, I feel like this is what makes sense to me. But the beautiful thing is that you guys are going to take this information and you're going to find what makes sense to you, and it's going to grow. Like together we grow this,
right.
all of this.
And
Yeah.
I think this was, let's see if I got the right one. Nancy Ray, how do you know if you're experiencing a parallel when astral traveling? And to me, I think most people is how people are dressed or how I'm dressed, tells me which kind of timeline or time I'm in or time period or in, even though it's all happening at the same time. But that's how I know Nancy's. I look around going, oh, we're back in this time. Oh no, we're in the future. And then I look down and see what I'm wearing. Of course, half the time I'm wearing a t-shirt and underwear because that's what I went to bed to sleep in, which is embarrassing when I arrive at some of my destinations. But that's how I tell Nancy Ray. How do you distinguish that, Teri, when you know where you are, if you're astral traveling, if you're in a parallel life or if you're in this life?
It's interesting, isn't it? Because sometimes that's not the first thing I look at is the clothing, but I can kind of feel where we're at if we're on a different planet.
Mhm.
If that planet is a light planet, like a star planet, and things are transcendent, like it's not quite solid, because a lot of dimensions are not quite solid, are they? They're
Mm,
more like a light body.
right. Well, me, I travel as a light body. So whenever I come to a star or planet, I put on whatever they're wearing, or I put on their suit or their physicality. Like for example, I've given, like when I've gone on to a whale planet, I've taken my human body off and put on a whale body. And then I found myself traveling, forget my human body. Let me just travel as a light being, and it'll be easier to go into what they look like.
That's beautiful, and it's a lighter state of consciousness too, in that it's a lightness of being. That's what they call it, a lightness of being, and that that it's elevated, and you don't have to worry about as much, do you? Because
Now,
the gravitational pull here is huge.
yeah, I travel with two other light beings, but I'm the only one that transform into whatever star or planet we're on. They stay as light beings.
Wow, that's amazing. So, is this your superpower?
I don't know. It's just something I do. I never
Sounds like a superpower, Gail.
I try not to categorize it. I just tell people my experiences, and this is what happens to me, or this is what I've seen, or this is what I'm doing. And I think that's probably more my strength than trying to figure it out. Is just explain what is happening to me and what I see and how it happens, and to bring it down to a level that people can understand because they're going through it also.
Yeah, yeah, and we all go through this. That's not. I like that you made that because everybody goes through this.
Yeah,
I believe. I don't believe
I
that.
definitely do. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think everybody's experiencing, especially the people that are here in this chat who are fascinated and wanting to learn more. I think they're definitely going through the same things.
yeah, and I also want to mention that I've been doing this since I was a little kid, but Dr. Gail is newer at it, and Dr. Gail has experiences that I've never had. And you people that are just coming on board and just getting this information, you're going to remember who you are probably, and it's what rings true for you, and you're going to know just as much as somebody that's been doing it for 50 years. So never doubt.
I don't know about that. In fact, I think, again, is probably one of my strengths is the fact I do not have the background. I do not have the educational background in the metaphysical world. So I don't have to go off into explanations on that. It's always like, okay, this is what happened to me. And I understand that it looks like I'm crazy because 5 years ago, I'd have looked at me like I'm crazy. Of course, still some days I do, but but I think I do understand the other side of it a lot more than somebody like you who's been going through it all your life and it's second nature to you.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the people that are coming on board are teaching me so much. Like you're
Right.
teaching um, Dr. Gail coming on board and going into what you're working with the galactics and whatnot and interdimensional beings that's huge. And that's a breakthrough because there were a lot of people that poo-pooed it for a long time in the spiritual community.
Still
And
are.
yeah,
And it still are. Yeah.
and why would they do that if there's an infinite number of um, um, universes? Why wouldn't there be an infinite number of
It,
galaxies and
most
galactic?
people have struggled with this kind of information is out of fear.
Yeah,
It's also they're having to overcome their religious backgrounds, their upbringings. They're being told that these things are not happening to you as a child. So we all have this uphill battle to get over that to start being able to accept the information. And that's a huge hurdle. And, so I don't fault anybody who can't understand it or is standing back going, oh, I'm not ready to receive that information yet. That's a little, let's label it crazy because I kind of fear it. It can't be true. So I don't fault anybody who is like that. In fact, you have to get used to the fact that your own family members don't understand it. And you can't look at them as they're less than. It's just they don't have those experiences. And if you don't have those kind of experiences, you don't understand.
yeah, yeah. And there's people that come in that are highly evolved souls into this lifetime, I believe, and they're here to hold space for us, and they may not have the same experiences that you do,
Yeah.
and
Hey,
that's okay.
hey, Nancy Jean, she's here.
Nancy Jean, we were talking about you.
Yeah, I've got.
Yeah,
We're so glad she's home and feeling better.
yeah, yeah. So glad you're taking care of yourself, Nancy.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah. Everybody's talking about menopause.
Everybody's getting on board. Have you seen? There's a girl on, I think it's TikTok or YouTube or something that talks about things she doesn't care about. That she's going through perimenopause and menopause, and she's developed this club, and it has gone viral.
I
She's
love it.
It's like the I don't care club. And she starts listing the things that she doesn't care about anymore. Like, I don't care about if the house is messy. I don't care if the clothes haven't been folded. And she just goes to the list and keeps doing little shorts about the things she doesn't care about that day. And she has got the hugest following now because of that. And how it started was she was sitting out in the car and she had just gotten out of the grocery store and she looked at herself in the mirror and she saw how bad she looked, how her hair looked, what she was wearing. And that's when she developed that I don't care. She did the video right there and it just started going viral. She just created the club. But anyway, it's really funny. She's really
I love
funny.
it.
She comes
I
on wearing like 2 sets of glasses on her head, around her neck. She's just looking kind of crazy, but she's funny.
I love it. Yeah, I like the girls that go into Target and they try on all the clothes. They're both different shapes and
Yeah.
sizes, but they do it and they try on these clothes that are supposed to be very glamorous, and it's just hilarious. They're so cute. But yeah, yeah. And everybody's talking about Barbara says I'm learning about my Palladian background. Um, and Mary says that's great. Yeah. And Pamela's entered the I don't care phase. It's true. And there's a lot of people, I don't tell a lot of people about what I do. They know that I do meditation and I'm on YouTube and whatnot, but they really don't care about galactics or hearing any of that. And there was a long time in my life that I was very involved in the Catholic community because my kids went to Catholic schools. And whatnot, and beautiful people. And but they're not interested in most of this. But every once in a while, one of them goes, "Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah, I've just started coming out in public where I live right now about what I do, and
yeah,
it's just amazing the reaction. You know, of course, half the people think you're crazy, but then there is that one person that you're going to touch, and that has finally, you know, like a lifeline has been sent to them because they've been told they're crazy all their life. They're having experiences, and all of a sudden, there's this person who's talking openly about it, and okay, maybe I'm not crazy. You know, everybody told me. So, you know, it's real helpful to have this community here on the show that we can talk about these things, that we can share this information because you really don't have anybody else to share it with.
yeah, yeah." Do you mind if I pull up Lisa's?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah,
I
go ahead.
love the question, Lisa. How do colors associate with dimensions? When I meditate, I see emerald green, indigo blue, and a yellow green, and was told they're from the 6th and 12th dimensions.
That's great. Lisa, it just sounds like you identify with colors a lot. To me, what do you think, Teri? I'm not sure about that. Let's see if do you think they represent different dimensions?
I do. I think that they could, and they could represent planets that you live on in different dimensions. Like when I associate the emerald green skies with the indigo blue mountains. I'm trying to remember which planet that is. I can't remember. Is that Arcturians? Were they from?
Arcturians generally are blue and purple.
Yeah, but the land. I'm trying to remember what planet that is.
Well, I'm I'm just getting different kind of information from this, and I'm thinking the colors are all from one dimension, one.
Oh,
That's and I'm getting a big yes on that. That this is
okay.
not a variety; it's a specific. Can't even say specific. Specific. So maybe we need to read a little further on that and see. Maybe you can come up with a planet because immediately I'm hearing Venus is the planet I'm coming up, and this is the Venetians, and I'm getting a humongous yes on that.
I am too. I'm getting a big yes. So yeah,
Yeah. So your
yeah,
affiliation is with the Venetians, and I have a feeling that they're your family, which I'm getting a yes. And I don't know if you're like me, Lisa, but I've only visited, my planet is Arcturus, and I've only visited one time. I've only gone home once because when I went there, I would not, if I go back again, I don't think I'll leave. I was so upset when I left there. I was so upset to go away from all that loving and feelings and come back to earth. So I cannot go back to that before I finish out this lifetime. And Lisa, I'm getting these big yeses on this, and I kind of feel like this is your affiliation is with the planet Venus and with the Venetians. And I'm just getting these big yeses on this. And so there you go.
yeah. That's beautiful. And Lisa, when I go into my planet of
Hold on just a minute, Teri.
okay.
Why did Starfish put Patricia Hernandez on timeout? I've looked at the message and okay. Well, I think it's a mistake. I think a lot of us have put somebody in timeout by mistake. So,
Oh,
yeah, Starfish, Jenny, if you can make sure you unblock Patricia, I'm sure it was by mistake because it has happened to a lot of us.
yeah. Yeah, it does happen every once in a while. Somebody will drop their phone or something,
Right,
and we'll,
right.
yeah,
So finger, yeah,
yeah. Patricia's a valued member of
yeah.
the community.
Yeah, I depend on her a lot.
Yeah, her visions. Oh my God, the visions she gets are amazing.
Okay. Oh, Starfish, did you get her? Did you take care of Patricia? Okay, thank you. So, all right, thank you.
No, it's okay, Starfish. Oh, I know how that happens. Yeah,
Yes, you're not the only one that has happened to. In fact, I've had that happen when I was looking at a show. Somebody put me in timeout by accident. So,
I got in timeout before on Debbie Freebird's channel too. Everybody's like, somebody put Teri in timeout.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, no worries, kid. Um, okay, are we taking questions then?
Sure.
Okay. Um, Let me find. Okay, Paul was number one. Hello, Dr. Gail and Teri. Yesterday at Pocono Raceway, I took a nap. I don't know how you take a nap at the raceway, but okay, Paul.
It was hard.
Right? I saw myself
For a lot of
walking.
drinking.
Uh-oh. Uh, I saw myself walking through a circle tunnel, saw amazing light colors, red, blue, yellow, green, orange. It was like for 3 minutes. Then I woke up in the fifth dimension. Um, is that the fifth dimension that I saw? Thank you. Huh.
And I'm getting a big yes on that, Paul. That was the fifth
Yeah.
dimension.
Yeah. Oh, for 3 minutes, he said. It took about 3 minutes.
Sometimes that's when I get my biggest visions, or is that like 3 minutes or 10 minutes that you go out and all of a sudden you're in that different dimension, seeing all sorts of different things. But yeah, you were in the fifth dimension, Paul. You have any more on that, Teri?
Um, I feel like Paul, it had something to do with the raceway because I don't know if they were going in a figure eight or a circle, but the energy there and the um, like almost like jet engines, those engines and the power of them, that it attracts a certain frequency, so it's easy to use that as a portal. I never thought about that before, but the raceway would be an easy portal to use.
It would, and I'm thinking because of the sound, it's continuous, and a lot of
Yeah.
times that would do it. I'm looking for, see if I can see Patricia, if they're having trouble unblocking her. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
look. So you go ahead with the next question while I look for Patricia so I can get in here and unblock her if I can.
Okay.
I might have to go out of the show, later and do it later, but right now they're having trouble
Oh,
unblocking.
yeah. Let me know because she might have come in through my channel and I can do it that way.
Oh, yeah, okay. Let's see.
Want me to do it?
Yeah, it looks like you need to do it.
Okay, I'll do it. You go ahead and keep going here, and I'll just smile and do it.
Okay. All right, let me see what the next question is. It looks like it's White Dragon. White Dragon. Gail, I had a dream. I was in a water planet inhabiting by Tibetan monks that got around on flying giant manta rays. Did this really happen? What was I doing there? It sounds like to me exactly it did happen. I have no doubts that happened. And yes, that is what happened. And you were just there, almost like looking at the land, looking at the, and it has to do with your military background. You're looking at they're telling me you're looking at the viability of putting a base there, is what they're telling me, White Dragon. So it has to do with the military, and it looks like they've asked for help. And let me see why they're needing help. They're worried that they're on like the short list of being attacked, and they are. And so you're there trying to figure out where to put a military base, where to protect them, how to take care of them, because they're extremely important to us. So that's what you were doing, White Dragon, doing important work as you always do. Did you find her?
Yeah, she's a managing moderator on my channel, so nobody put her in the timeout on my channel. It must
Okay.
be on the channel.
Okay, so I'll look. You can go to the next question, and I'll look, see what's going on there.
Okay, and you just did White Dragon. So I'm going to go to Alina. Hi, what is the probability for me to have ET open contact in the next 2 to 3 years? How would it happen? Alina, it's up to you. So you set the guidelines of how you want that to happen. And you set the parameters. Like one of my rules is don't come at me at night and don't come up behind me. So
Don't scare me is my only thing.
yeah. right? So, so just look at that and set the parameters for how you'd like it to happen. Often it happens in dreams and in visions for me, whereas Dr. Gale's happen on a physical more modality in your backyard is how it started, right?
Well, I have it. I say I have one foot in the other world and one foot in this world at all times. I can sit here and look at what's happening on a spaceship that I'm working on, or that somebody else is working on, and still be here in the 3D world. So I have a very limited, I don't know, I have a very fine line between the worlds, and I'm very visual, so I can see it versus feel it. And the other thing, Elena, my question about that is open contact. I think you're actually asking if you're going to have open contact in this 3D world in the next 2 or 3 years, and how would it happen? You're already having contact. You're already having contact that you're not aware of, that you're sleeping and having contact. Now, to bring it into the world where you can understand and see it, you're going to probably have to put your intentions out there to do that. Here, I found Patricia.
Oh, yay.
Put to Ben. I don't have her in timeout either.
I don't know.
So I don't know what's going on there.
Okay.
Anyway, so start putting the intentions out there that you want to remember. And also, there's a process that I went through, Elena, to develop my connection with the extraterrestrials. And the first thing I did was connect with my dad, who had passed, who was on mediumship. I think mediumship is the basis to everything. So if you connected with somebody on the other side, or if you've taken a medium class, I would say start doing that. Then the next step was I met the angels, and the next step was the ETs. My father made it comfortable for me meeting the ETs, and part of the reason people are hesitant about meeting them is because they're scared. They're scared. If they show up, it scares them. And so me having somebody I trusted on the other side, allowing these things to come in, made it comfortable for me, or more comfortable for me. Hey, Terrastash, thanks. If you can see Patricia on YouTube, try making her a moderator. That should take care of it. I think she's already. Oh, there she is. She's back.
Is she back?
Yeah, she's back. Oh,
okay,
no,
now she's on Teri's.
Oh, she went on your channel. Okay, let me. Okay,
I think part of the reason was she's not able to talk on somebody, either on my channel or your channel. I think
it's my channel. So, Patricia, aren't you already a moderator on my channel? I think she is already a moderator on my channel. It was just an accident that she got put in time out, and it might be that we have to end the show and me go in there and take care of it afterwards.
Yeah.
So, but I need Patricia. Patricia, so much help.
I know.
Got to have her here.
Patricia, we love you.
Oh, Diane, she was timed out on my show. Yeah. Oh, Patricia, you're not a moderator? Well, you're going to be a moderator. There's probably several other people I need to make moderators too. We have to go out sometimes at the end of the show and do that. When we're on, we can't do it on, that's what it is. We can't do it when we're on, we have to go on YouTube to do it. We can't do it on
StreamYard.
On StreamYard, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. We can't do it on StreamYard. So I have to wait till to go out and then go into YouTube to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Also, the other thing about open contact is prejudice. Like Earthlings have a lot of tribalism and a lot of prejudice, like against people if they live in a different country and there's a line on the land because of that, or what color people are, what sexuality people are. There's all sorts of different reasons that Earthlings can be like that. Now, if you saw a 12-foot tall grasshopper walk up to you, how would you feel? So the more, yeah, right?
So a grasshopper, one of my first ETs that I met was a grasshopper. It was sprayed at mantis, but I kept saying it looked like it was a grasshopper. But it went from really little to really big. So it had the ability to do that.
Yeah. So the more trusting we are of each other and the more interconnected we are as a species, the more that we're going to be seeing this. So that's something important. And probably if you're here, you're very trusting and very open. So, you
We're
know,
just learning to be. Some people who are not chatting or sitting behind the scenes talking about the two crazy women talking, but kind of listening. And, we need to reach those people too, to let them know it's okay to talk about it.
yeah. Yeah. Auntie D has a great question. Hi, ladies. I see an eye in my visions and I'm shown things through the eye. Any guidance on what this means? Thank you.
That's pretty common, haven't you, Teri? That a lot of people see through this like big eye.
Hmm.
What do you have to say on that one?
Well, I love this, Auntie G, because this has been huge in all my drawings lately. I have the eye, and I always see that single eye, and it can be like the eye of a dolphin. It can look like the eye of Horus. It can look like the eye of an elephant. But that I is the I am. For me, that's what that means. And I am is source and awareness and being one with everything and non-duality. So, what do you feel like?
Well, I've well, for me, I'm seeing that it's almost like a telescope for her, that eye.
Oh, I like
That's what I see as a telescope. Let me check on that. But that she's looking for that from the eye, and that's what makes her comfortable, is looking through that eye. And I'm getting a yes on this. That she's looking through that eye. That is like kind of like her comfort zone. It's like she's not pulling her full vision out there, but she's kind of going to tunnel it through that one eye.
Yeah, I love that. And that's an awakening, Auntie D. So, good on you. I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a lot of people who see like that through that
yeah.
eye.
And there's fields of eyes right now. That's what they keep showing me. It's coming up again. It's everybody awakening.
Yeah.
Teresa Gingras. Greetings, Galactic Tribe. Couple weeks ago in bed, hear conversation language not of this earth. Who were they and what was the topic of conversation?
Teresa, we should be asking you that. You're very connected. So, all right, Teresa's really coming out. She's really has started really seeing a lot of things and is experiencing a lot of things and is open up to all this. And so she wanted to know what kind of light language she was listening to. And the insectoids, the clicking of the. I'm hearing the clicking of the insectoids is what you are hearing. And so, Teresa, I'm going to say that you were actually having a healing. That's what was going on. You were in surgery. That's what I'm getting. You were in surgery, and that's what you were hearing. Actually, it was what you were remembering, that conversation, and it was about you.
Yeah.
True, but harder to be objective. I agree, Teresa. It is sometimes hard to be objective, especially in the beginning when it starts coming to you. And that's what this channel is for. And for me, I had, like as I said, I had my father on this other side that helped me. But then I had a friend who was in metaphysical world here. My only friend that I knew in the metaphysical world that kept telling me I was okay, that I wasn't crazy. If I hadn't had those two, I would have been on medication or in the loony bin or something, or but they gave me the confidence to keep moving forward.
And Teresa, I do get that you were in a healing too. That rings so true. And the other part of it is that I feel like they were inner Earth. So galactics they have plenty of bases on inner Earth and all around us as we speak. So just know that they're closer than you think, and you can reach out to them when you need to. And they're great healers as well, and very protective. You might look around you when you go out, and if you see any 8-foot tall bearded people,
Oh no, you're disappearing on us, Teri.
around
Oh no, there's some interference going on your end. Debbie, you're thinking. I
They're
wonder.
probably a Lyran. That's now I'm back. Were you guys back?
Yeah, you keep fading. You keep fading in and out. Okay, so yeah, Debbie, you said you wonder if that's what the occasional clicking in my right ear is. Yes, probably, very likely, because I associate the praying mantis beings or the
I
mantis
don't
being.
know.
Oh, that's
Heard.
Terry, you keep
Were
coming and
you?
going. Yeah. Oh, good. Thank you. You're seeing
Were you
Terry.
on and I was
Terry,
off?
you keep going out when nobody can understand what you're saying.
I don't know what's going on.
I just got you there, but you're still frozen. Okay. Well, I'm going to go on to the next question as hopefully Terry will be coming back to us. But she is frozen. I think she can hear us, but we can't hear her. And so let me see if I can get down to the next question, get my scroll to work. Looks like it is in-car. Hey, in-car. Hello, Dr. Gail and Teri. Any messages for me from up there? Thank you for what you do. Oh no, Teri, I thought you would be back soon. And I'm sure y'all are seeing all that. That she's frozen. I'm not the only one seeing her frozen. Emma. Oh, she's gone. Okay. Let's see. Well, I'm going to address in-car. I'll get right back to you. Mary, you said Susan Lynn many years ago told me to leave it alone, so I have been, but I was wondering your thoughts. Oh, Teri won't be back. She's having issues. So that's what I'm getting from her. Oh, well, there she is. There she is back.
Sorry guys, it wouldn't let me come back in, and I had to switch to a different camera and everything else. But then StreamYard went out too, so I think it.
Oh, really? I mean, I'm not having any issues so far. Knock on wood.
Yeah, I think.
You just went out again. Yeah. Jay Cat Lady say Teri's energy is so high, her vibration is so very high that she's having issues. That's probably true. All right. I'm not sure what you're talking about Susan Lynn, what she had told you about not missing. I would have to have more information on what that conversation was about, Mary, about leave it alone. I'm not sure what that's about. Okay. Well, I'm going over here to in-car. See, I can see you, Teri. You're not frozen. Can you talk?
Yeah, I think I could talk again. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yes. You want to take this for in-car, this message?
Yeah. Hello, Dr. Gail and Teri. Any messages for me from up there? Up there. Thank you for what you do.
Here, there was one that I want to go back to. That's why I'm letting you take this while I find this.
Oh, okay. In-car, they're saying it's something about what you're doing for yourself. Are you working on a new modality or something? Because they want you to expand on what you're doing. And if that's something that's healing yourself, it's like there's a leveling up that you're going through right now. And they're talking about this leveling up process is going to be really important to you in raising your vibration. So is it water activated? It is water activated if you want it to be. When my pendulum is still, that means that it's free will and it's your choice. Is it light activated? Yeah, it's also light activated. So a lot of times, you guys, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to go within and to do meditation, whether that means walking or art or being quiet. But there's something about they see me you go they are showing me you going into an elevator in car and moving up, and it gets lighter and lighter and lighter as you move up. Okay, you're starting doing Reiki for others. Yeah, in car. This is it. This is going to be your leveling up. This is going to raise your vibration to that point that you want to be.
That's good. Great, Inkar. Well, I'm going to bring up this because I'm very curious about this to get more information. If you're here, Mary, because I want to know. You're saying Susan Lynn many years ago told me to leave it alone, so I have, but was wondering your thoughts. So, what exactly did she tell you to leave alone? Uh, my conversation. If you could, if you're here, Mary, I really like. Oh, okay. Let's see. You have something that lives in a woodsy area behind my barn. It will come into the vegetable garden and move things, throw things out of the trees, not at us. What is that? Oh, I can tell you, for one who just experienced this, that is an elemental who's pissed. And you've got to go honor the land. And so, Mary, what I'm going to tell you to do is go out there and give it some gifts, give it some stones, give it some flowers, do some things to make peace with it. It has been there for years since I was little. Go make peace with it. Go talk to it. Sit down and have a conversation with it. Bring it some gifts. And so when I first moved into this house, I had issues with an elemental just bothering my dog. And it took me I had to honor the land that we finally became friends. So you can make this your friend. You can bring this on your side. It will protect you and your land. But you need to address it. You need to look at it, and you need to honor it. It wants to be honored. It is its land. You are the stranger on its land.
Yeah. Yeah. And, when they come in, you might even want to leave it a note, like write a note and leave a piece of paper, or pull a piece of paper out of a book or something that has a beautiful poem on it. But because they're just pointing out that they like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, White Dragon says, give it sweets and talk nice to it.
I used to take to the fairies when I was in Mount Shasta little chocolate kisses, and I'd put it out. But it is all about the honoring the land, because they feel like we're the invaders on the land. And then when we start accepting them, addressing them, and letting them know that we know that's their land and thank you for letting us be there, then it will help and accept you.
Yeah. And Mary says, I ask it to protect the place when I'm gone.
Which it is protecting everything. Just want to make friends with it.
Yeah. And they're ancient ones, so approaching them as with reverence. And I know you do, Mary. You're so concerned.
Debbie's saying give it rose quartz. And that is what I've done when I've gone from East Coast to West Coast both ways. And I have to carry in my car a heart-shaped rose quartz, a whole bag of them that I leave at the different places I go to and when I first arrive to them. So that's what I do. I always have rose quartz in my car for that reason, to honor the land, and also the other type of gifts, chocolate, things like that, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Mary says, put up a prayer flag sequence on it to play with. Yeah.
The fairies like that. I feel like this is something more grounded than the fairies.
I do.
Yeah, that's actually in the land. So I'm not so sure that is what it would like, but it would like something that goes into the dirt.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that, Mary. You're welcome. You want me to pick one more, or you got time for one more?
Yeah, just one last one.
Okay. Oh, golly. I hope I don't knock everybody off the thing here. Let's see. Okay. Starfish Jenny. Uh-oh, she's gone. There she is. Hi, it seems that time is slowing and feel like I'm at the bottom of a wave in the ocean. What is that?
you feel like time is slowing. Wow, I don't. You, Terry, did you feel like I think that's just her, that she feels like time is slowing, and it is, and why is she at the bottom? Do you have any insight on that, Terry? You want to go before I do?
Well, there's a space that we go to in meditation group, Starfish Jenny, and I know you're there sometimes, that is Inner Earth. And it is kind of a slower pace in there, in that particular space. And it's the waters inside the earth. And there's vast amounts of water inside the planet. Oh, almost didn't let me talk about it. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're hearing, still hearing you.
Okay, so the vast amounts of water that's in there, that's healing waters. So I feel like you're spending some time in there to get collected for what's coming next, Starfish Jenny.
Yeah, Annie Bear has a good thing about it. She's entering zero dimension, sounds like Jenny. For me, I have a whole different take on this whole thing. And mine is not more the metaphysical. I feel like this is physical and that you're going into some type of depression, Jenny, when this is happening to you, almost like you're drowning in your own thoughts or drowning in life in general, and that there's the support's here for you, and that we can help with the group to help you out. But I feel like you're probably getting help for this, but I do feel like when you're hitting the bottom like that, this is part of your wave of depression where, okay, I feel good today, but all of a sudden I don't feel good. I feel good and I don't feel good. So that's how I felt about it. I know that's totally different than anybody else is going.
Yeah, yeah. So see what works for you, Jenny. You know that. Mangled Unicorn says disassociating. Well, anybody else up for disassociation today?
I'm really good at that one. I'm really good at that.
Yeah, yeah. It's sometimes that's a good place to be on this planet. Everyone, I'm not putting it down because I know I've been through trauma, and disassociation is a thing, and it's a thing that helps us survive.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, Jenny, if you need to talk about that more, you just contact me. Okay. So we can get a little more into that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, sorry I was almost here today in this dimension.
You were going to the zero dimension.
Evidently, yeah, creating a new website or a new association.
Okay, everybody. Well, thanks for being here. Teri,
Yeah.
you're a great show as always.
This was fun.
Even though you went to a different dimension several times. So, but when is your next show?
I think on Monday I've got Meditation Tribe Monday through Friday, 8:11 a.m. Central. And I don't know what else I have, but I know I got stuff.
I think next week I have Barbara Lamb again.
Oh my God.
This
You
is
guys, she is a
exciting.
true wonder.
Yeah, she's going to talk about her most interesting cases that she has regressed on the ET alien world. She's going to talk about her most interesting cases that she's regressed.
Yeah, she is a treasure on the planet.
Yeah,
You guys. So Barbara Lamb is a huge coup. So please come and listen to her. And Dr. Gail is too. And thank you, Annie Bear. Yes, my daughter is home, so I'm kind of laying low a little bit. She just got back. So.
All right, everybody. We'll see y'all later. Thanks for being here. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, moderators, for making this a safe place. Thank you.
Yeah.